Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well and are doing amazing as an amazing person that you are. If you're here for the first time, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. Please, yeah, subscribe. Thank you. And if you're my regular subscriber, I say thank you so much for subscribing. And here we're growing together and loving ourselves with me, Marina. Hi. So today, grab yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and come on back. Basically, I started seeing this guy we met previously on club night, danced together, but never really went anywhere. You know, that was the same back then. And then we reconnected back on Twitter. Tinder, sorry, on Tinder. That's how we reconnected. And then he asked me out on a date, and I was like, why not? I was single at the time. I wanted to see what, what's out there. And we went on a date. He took me to the movies, which was really good. Like, he was good as in like banter wise. We could talk about nonsense and laugh about, like I like that. And then it's been a while since I've been having attention and going on any potential serious dates. So yeah, and we went, and afterwards we went back to his crib. Never go back to a guy's crib, it's like God, because 90% of the time I would say, something goes sideways, or maybe just I'm a hope, but anyway. So, and we're together, we hooked up basically. After we hooked up and we were still communicating, and like he checked up on me and drove me there and stuff, so we started building this thing that I thought was going to be a proper relationship. So yeah, and then about in a month and a half or two, I was like, you know what, like it became a pattern that we'd only meet up if he was horny or I was horny, so it was just like a sexual thing. So we had a conversation and he was like, okay, what do you want to do? I thought the agreement was like, we are going to be talking to each other, having a friends with benefit thing, because he wanted that, and I was like, okay, I care about this person enough that I'm actually considering doing a friends with benefit, right? So I did, and we started with the friends with benefit, and I would go on dates with different people, but I always felt reserved because like I'm talking to this one person who has like my undivided, at the time, like attention, and now I'll go on other dates and I'm supposed to give the same level of energy, which it just didn't work out for me that way. So I, refrain myself from going to too much date. And the counter side, he went on dates. So the kicker part of this date was like that day I was on at home, right? And he was out because on his Instagram he posted that he was out. And he told me that he was at home, but his Instagram said otherwise. And I was like, you know what? He's not my boyfriend. He's not anything too serious, so I can't give him the craziness of a girlfriend, right? I should have. So on that date, he took the bitch out, he took the girl out, remembering that I was telling him like, oh, we don't do things like coupley wise, that's why we didn't work, well, officially, because he didn't want to do the coupley things. And then he went on to take the girl, not only feed her, drive to pick her properly, bring her to the crib and sleep with her. He did all of that without protection, you guys. Yeah, he did. So afterwards, and me and him at that time were not in the very good space, because he was doing his thing, was my thing. We still spoke, but it wasn't as much as we used to speak, right? So, and then a few weeks later, we were trying to reconnect what we had, and then I went out that night, and then told me, which I was like, oh, man, come yours. So I went his place, and then we of course we were together, because I thought like no matter what we did, we still came back to each other, meaning physically, intimately. And so basically afterwards, he about 2 days later, he told me like, oh, I went to the GP because he was telling me that he was sick like 2 days prior, and I was worried. I was like, let me help you, you know what you need, I'm gonna cook for you. I came there cooking for him, tending at him like proper African that I am, Anyway, so I did all that, and he then has like the audacity to tell me like, oh my gosh, I went to the GP and they told me I might have something, and you have to go get yourself tested. I'm like, this is my alarm bells start ringing. I'm like, unless you've got a very contagious flu, you can't give me flu, because that's what he told me he had, right? And I'm like, wait, like, what do you mean go get myself tested? And he's like, oh, the doctor said I might have an STI. So he gave me a medicine and everything, and you have to get yourself tested, right? I was like, okay. I cursed at him. My friend, she took the phone, she cursed at me. So she was writing because I was crying. And that's I'm like, I've ruined my life because of dick. I've ruined everything about myself because I just wanted to be held by a person at that moment, So yeah. And afterwards, he I did my screening, everything came out negative, and I was like, you know what, you can go screw yourself, do whatever you want to do, just leave me alone. I stayed mad at him for like 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks, you guys. And then afterwards, he came to me because I moved houses at that time as well. He was like, oh, can help you if you need anything moving or moving wise. And of course, I needed some help moving wise, and that's how he swindled his way in. For the first about week and a half, he was asking me how I am, perfectly this and perfectly that, and then after that, it went back to the whole routine of like, I'll, we just meet up when he's horny for a quickie or whatever, and I was like, no, and then we had to have the conversation again, and then he told me like, oh, I told you I didn't want a relationship. I don't think I'm ready for this to go serious, and I'm like, oh, this is the part that pissed me off. You did me wrong, considering that not only did you do all the stuff and you almost got me implicated in your foolishness, but I took you back. I forgave you to give you a second chance because I didn't just like your, thing, but I liked you as a person. And I was like, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me, fam. Like, tell me. I know. And he was like, oh, that. But he's like, oh, I would still like to keep you in my life and everything. I was like, okay. After he told me that, my friend convinced, the breakup basically happened over the phone. So I was like, hey, this weekend, because I've been telling you already, like, this weekend I'm gonna be free because I worked a lot at the time. I'm gonna be free, but like, and I got this new promotion. I want us to go. We made plans to go celebrate, right? And hey, I was like, I'm like, hey, do you know like what is this weekend? What are you doing this weekend? And he's like, oh, I'm gonna chill with my bros. I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, this weekend I'm free. I'm free this weekend. So what are you gonna do this weekend? Basically trying to hint to him like, can we do something? But I didn't want to ask. I wanted to see if he actually thought about me. And he was like, no, I'm gonna chill with my bro, don't have anything. And I asked him that question 3 times, and after the 3rd time I was just like, it's the weekend that I'm off, and I told you like I got promoted and everything, and this was supposed to be our weekend, just me and you actually doing something. And he just didn't think about me. And then my friend told me, she was like, it's just not worth it because he doesn't think about you in that way. So after I hang up the phone, block directly. I blocked him because I was like, if I keep on having that conversation with him, like keep on speaking to him, I would be running back because we always run back to what is familiar, unfortunately. So yeah, and then after we broke up and just maybe he went about his life, I went about my life, and then about a few months later, we wished him happy birthday on his birthday, and then that's it. Yeah, that became. But it broke me, this relationship, because I had such a low self-esteem about myself. Like I was able to take absolute crap from a man, like from a guy that didn't even give a 2 crap fully about me, and I was able to take it, and I was still willing to forgive him for him to be with me. So like I diminished my value just to be with you, but at the end of the day you still don't want me. So the rejection thing really crushed me. I went into like a whole dark place. I was just like, I literally didn't want to get out of my house until I had to, and like my grades dropped just a bit because I'm studying uni, just a bit, and it just taught me like, never ever again let the guy have that much power on me or that much effect on me, because like, unless you married me, unless you made me yours fully, I'm not going to give you that amount of not only respect, as in that extra bit of respect that a person who's committed to you should have. But I was like, if I can screw him, so after I dusted myself up, my friends were amazing, like in supporting me anyway. I went back to the gym, back to eating healthy, back to being me, and just back to just loving myself and learning to love me like more. And that took a lot of work. So a lot of motivational talks, a lot of reading, a lot of praying, a lot of like getting to know who I was, because I wouldn't say I'm prideful, but I knew my value. And through these years of coming abroad and being lonely, I've let my value literally diminish. And I was like, I worked too damn hard for me to become this person that I am today with confidence, then to let a guy just come tear it all down. So yeah, did a lot of prep talks, and then I moved on in my life and said, screw guys. After that, I only went on one other day, and then I found someone. Well, I would say that someone found me. He found me. That is working out for me. I'm in a much better place because I'm in love with me and me first, and taking care of me before I take care of anyone. And that's what I'm gonna tell you, guys and ladies out there. Like, if you wanna fall for someone, or if you wanna be in love with someone, you better love yourself first. Like, you gotta love you, every single smile, your cracky, beautiful, pimple places of yourself. You better love you first, and then you'll be able to love others fully. So yeah, and I hope, first of all, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for watching my video. And if you have a comment, please leave it down below. If anything that I've said has resonated with you or has inspired you, please leave it down below in the comment area. I would like to hear from you guys anytime, anywhere. And give me a big thumbs up. You know, give me a heart. Follow me on Instagram at @GreenandDebe. And please hit the subscription or go watch some more videos. And I will see you next week again for another relationship update, or some tips on loving yourself and self-care. So yeah, it's not being selfish, it's called self-care. So thank you guys so much for watching, and bye. Mwah.